South fans, a superb game here at Lakeside Stadium against the Bentleigh Greens. The final score, of course, was South Melbourne 1, Bentleigh Greens 1. Bentleigh took the lead in the first half with really their only chance of the first half. A Pierce Waring strike that thundered past Pierce Clark really left Pierce Clark with no chance. But, that was, I think, it's fair to say, I am, of course, biased towards South Melbourne. But really today, South fans, especially in that first half, it was 90% South Melbourne, multiple chances created. Just lack of decisiveness. A couple of times, in particular, I remember Baresi, there was a time when he got past the keeper, maybe didn't finish, with enough power. Bentleigh cleared off the line. Baresi also created a superb chance for himself in that first half, where he flicked the ball, into space. Great shot on goal, and it was a good save by the Bentleigh keeper. It was just one of those games today, South fans, which really is characteristic of our season. We have, I would say, one of the best structured teams in the league, considering we have at the moment injuries to some of our very key players. Of course, Josh Wallen has a broken arm. Harrison Sawyer, I believe, has an issue with his toe. He was at the ground today, was in a moon boot, believe he's had surgery. So, he's probably going to be out for another 4 to 5 weeks at a minimum, I would have thought. Marcus Shrone was named on the bench today, but he's clearly got a shoulder issue, was not moving his shoulder at all. I believe he's going into surgery soon. I did actually speak to his dad. He said that he's going to have a procedure done very soon. After that procedure, he's probably going to be out for 5 or 6 weeks. So these are injuries to very, very key players. Yet the team, South fans, against really the hottest team in the league, Bentleigh Greens 5 on the spin, was it? Smashed Melbourne Knights 5-1. Today, I would say a fair score probably would have been 5-2 to South Melbourne. Of course, Bentleigh scored 1. At the end, they had a golden chance, after a Luke Adams mistake. But South Melbourne just absolutely, both halves really. There was a period just after the break where Bentleigh, had the game for 10-15 minutes. Marko Jankovic then capitalised on a penalty after Henry Hall was brought down in the box. And from that moment on, South Melbourne really started to turn the screws. We missed a one-on-one opportunity with Daniel Clark late. Daniel Clark went into the box, cut the ball back superbly well. For Henry Hall right at the death. I thought that was it. Surely we cannot miss an angle drive. Unfortunately, I think Henry Hall shot at the keeper. It would have been a superb ending to the match. A match which South Melbourne deserved to win. Henry Hall, who was superb tonight, to be fair, along really with pretty much every single South Melbourne player. A shout out to Perry Lambropoulos as well, who came in at left back. I believe Brad Norton was suspended, but Perry was, I think, arguably in our top 3 players. Superb going forward in particular. Really, really good ball control. Unexpected ball control. We did see it though against Hume, when he nearly scored one of the goals of the season after Baresi flicked it onto him, and he turned the Hume defence, unfortunately couldn't finish. He showed that really good close ball control today in some key moments, got into some really dangerous areas, put in some great balls. It just wasn't meant to be. There was a free kick that was brilliantly taken. When Bentleigh got their second yellow, maybe with, I think it was like 15 or maybe 10 minutes to go. It was Daniel Clark and Henry Hall on the ball. Daniel Clark made out like he was going to shoot it. Hoare, it did favour Henry Hall on his right foot, ended up taking it. Just that, I guess, interplay between the two players on the set piece rooted the Bentleigh keeper onto the spot. He's a very good keeper. Basically was beaten, all ends up. Henry Hall beat the wall brilliantly. Everybody thought it was a goal. Nicks the post, unfortunately. Yeah, it would be interesting to see the stats, because it's not only about, shots on target or shots on goal. South Melbourne got into the box today so often. It was just a very, very entertaining game to watch, because, especially at the end as well, when, Ben Gibber came on, trying to give, South Melbourne some pace down the right-hand side. Jerry Salathos came on, and he did well. I think a couple of times Jerry's come off the bench this season. He's impacted the game very well, because he has that close ball control. He has the ability to pass the ball wide. He's coming on when the players are tired, he nearly created multiple openings for South Melbourne. There was also another play which I remember Lambropoulos played the ball from the left, great cross. Found Salathos. Obviously, he's not the best header of the ball. Instead of headering it on target, he headed it, I think, across to Clark, who sort of latched onto a left foot volley. There was a Bentley defender who just got a nick on the ball. If he didn't, it probably would have actually went into the back of the net because Clark did hit it well. But, that was the story of our game, South fans. And, even Bentley's chance at the end, because, when you're the coaching staff of Bentley and trying to say, are we happy with the point? They might try and keep, the spirit of the players up by saying, we should have won. Because South had so much momentum, Luke Adams did something I've never seen him ever try an attempt. Not that he's not capable of doing it, but, he tried a Hollywood ball that that needed to go over like 3 or 4 Bentley players that were charging into the final third, miskicked it, and he gave the ball away in such a dangerous area, which ultimately led to, that chance for Bentley, which, I think they hit the crossbar and then on the follow-up somehow missed as well. But, maybe that was the piece of lady luck, that South Melbourne deserved, because for South Melbourne to lose this game, it would have been so disappointing for the players because, even last week against Avondale, for that first 20, 25 minutes, Marcus Schroen missed a chance from 1 metre out. We had a penalty, which was not given. And my understanding is, hearing around the grounds today, obviously it's secondhand, so I'm not sure how correct that is, but apparently, the Football Federation Victoria, head of referees indicated that it was a penalty. That could be incorrect, of course. It is hearsay. But, it was clearly a penalty as well against Avondale last week. Today as well, there was another chance right at the end. Lambropoulos superbly well down the left, got into the box, crossed the ball. It was actually a good cross. There were 2 Bentley players there. For all intents and purposes, it looked like the Bentley defence hugged the ball. It looked like an obvious handball. I saw the replay. Again, it really looked like a handball. And it's like the referee felt that, I already gave South Melbourne a penalty. They equalised from it. If I give another penalty and they win the game, that's, I'm influencing the game. But you know what? If it's actually a clear penalty, as a referee, you just have to give it. And, the referee, Adam Bavkar, assuming that it was a clear penalty, because I did see it on YouTube, and I haven't seen it on a big TV. It was just on my phone. I did also receive a text from someone watching the game at home saying it was a handball as well. But, assuming it was, this referee is supposedly one of the best referees in Victoria. My understanding is he referees in the close shop of Africa's A-League tournament, Cartel of Fake Football, which in my opinion is actually, easier to referee at. They've got video system referee to make sure howlers, don't occur. But, if it's an obvious penalty, we saw it against Avondale. Potentially we saw it today. You just have to give it. I know, though, we can't just place our emphasis on penalties. We need to look at the fact that our general game was really good. We limited Bentley really to 2 chances. They took 1, and I would argue that we had 5 or 6 equivalent great chances, and also entered that box multiple times more than Bentley did. It was a very difficult game for the Bentley defence, and this is a team that scores goals easy, that's been dominant, and South Melbourne played them off the park tonight. So, credit to the players that were behind. They came back, definitely should have won it, in my opinion. We didn't, though. We're still, I think, 3rd at the moment. We may drop to 4th, depending on results. The next week's game against Heidelberg is going to be a huge match for both teams. Obviously, Hume started to win. Port Melbourne's winning. It's an absolute logjam. If you can get a result in a difficult game like against Heidelberg, we will have a run with games at Lakeside against teams, that absolutely we should be defeating. But you know what? The way that we play today, there's not many teams that South Melbourne actually, if they reach that level of performance, in terms of squeezing the team, being on the front foot, creating chances, you could argue we could almost beat anybody in that sort of form, especially if we can find a way to start scoring. Hopefully the lads can, start to pick up points. And in the second half of the season, we're going to see the likes of Wallen return, Sawyer return, Schroen return. And if we've picked up points during that time, and hopefully we'll be in a position, to comfortably make the finals, hopefully get a home final, and start building towards something great because, this team, I think, does deserve it, South fans. Shout out to the players today. I know I've talked far too long. Players like Perry Lambropoulos, I mentioned, came in cold. Brad Norton was suspended. Absolutely superb. I don't think there was a bad player on the pitch today. Luke Pavlou, superb as well. Henry Hoare, I think, arguably his best game in the South Melbourne shirt. Only thing missing, was a goal. Great performance. Every single player. Bates, 70 minutes of quality. Marko Jankovic, an absolute Rolls Royce in defence. Well done, lads. Keep going. Keep your heads up against Heidelberg. It's a huge game. Let's get the 3 points. Let's make sure you're at the stadium, South fans, because this team deserves your support. Go South!